to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below. Scott Coombe repeatedly attacked 18-month-old Andrew Cocker over the course of a year after moving into Tamika Beaton's flat in southeast London, before inflicting a fatal head injury on the boy. Beaton, 25, suspected her son was being abused but chose not to intervene or seek help, the Metropolitan Police said. Andrew died after he was vigorously shaken and thrown by Coombe, who had become irritated with caring for him while Beaton was at a dance class in July 2019. The toddler never regained consciousness after his head injury he passed in hospital 2 weeks later. At the Old Bailey on Friday, Coombe was jailed for 9 years after admitting manslaughter, child cruelty, and assaulting the toddler on 3 occasions. Beaton was sentenced to 12 months suspended for 18 months after being found guilty of child cruelty after fatally injuring Andrew. Coombe called 999 and claimed the youngster had started looking a bit stiff and had suffered a seizure. However, hospital staff raised concerns that the injuries could not have been accidental. The 24-year-old Postman was arrested on suspicion of grievous bodily harm and then further arrested on suspicion of murder after Andrew's passing. A post-mortem examination found the child died from a head injury, while several other bruises were identified around his face and shoulder. A pathologist concluded Coombe's account of what happened was implausible given the level of injuries suffered by the toddler. During the police investigation, detectives found pictures and messages documenting Andrew's injuries on the phones of both Coombe and Beaton. Police said it was clear from the phone evidence that Andrew's injuries happened while he was in the sole care of Coombe, who had entered a relationship with Beaton in July 2018. Beaton had cheated on Andrew's father, Ben Cocker, with Coombe after she met him at a fitness class. Mr. Cocker became very concerned when Beaton sent him a photo of injuries to Andrew's ribs in April 2019, jurors were told. However, Beaton suggested to her ex-partner that he could have caused the wounds while he was looking after their son. She repeated the accusations during a police interview, despite knowing the injuries happened when Andrew was being looked after by Coombe alone. In messages to her mother, Beaton indicated she was aware that Andrew was being hurt in Coombe's care, but she chose not to take action and allowed it to continue. Prosecutor Sally O'Neill Casey told the court, not only did she do nothing to protect Andrew from being injured by Scott Coombe, she tried to cover up the injuries by blaming Ben Cocker, his father, for causing them. The court heard that Andrew had been due to start nursery, but Beaton did not take him because of the questions staff might raise about his bruises. Coombe, of Pettswood, southeast London, pleaded guilty to manslaughter at a hearing at the Old Bailey in February. Beaton, from Peckham, was found guilty of cruelty following a trial at the same court in October. So I did a video recently and I had somebody that wanted to leave a comment instead of, in a sense, being focused on specifically what the video was focused about, right? And this person said that I always wondered why so many black men love their Caucasian women. It's that censored that draws them. I remember my mom used to get on my brothers for not wanting to bathe after playing outside. So I'm guessing many black men went through the same. So that censored reminds them of childhood, either that or their first censored thing. So, I just wanted to, in a sense, attach that comment specifically to this video. And I'm just trying to figure out, where are you at on this, right? You wanted to say that, oh, because, black men are a certain type of way growing up, this is why that, black men, right, talking in general, meaning all, specifically, seek out and go for these type of women, right? So why is it that I happen to see countless stories of black women going for guys like this and things happening to their children? I'm pretty sure you're going to be silent on that. I'm pretty sure you're not going to have anything to state. I'm pretty sure that you're going to decide to try to say that, oh, well, if the actual father was, actually present, which we know he wasn't, then, none of this would have actually have happened. Nah, because guess who got charged? It wasn't the father. It was the person who has guardianship. Who has guardianship? The mother. Who was the mother? A black woman. See how that works? See how interesting that is? That even when, You have people that should be taking responsibility for 100% of everything that goes on in the house, especially with the kids, that somehow, some way, you will have some people try to roll up. Because I've had this happen in many instances in stories where the story specifically and is fixated on the mother, nobody else. But they're going to go out on a limb and try to blame black men directly for what it is that, you know, took place, when realistically they have no control of the situation. It was the mother. Like I said, in this situation, the mother is with who? She's with another person that is not the father of that child, right? Which means that that relationship didn't work out for whatever reason. I don't even care what the reason was. And she decided to be with this dude. She didn't vet this dude. She didn't make sure that he was going to be a family dude. She didn't make sure that he actually liked kids or anything like that. So what ended up happening inevitably, which is her new boyfriend ended up doing something which ended up taking the life of that child. And what did they sit up there and tell you specifically in an article? The mother knew everything that was going on, saw it, didn't say nothing about it, and didn't even try to stop it. So before anybody decides that they want to roll through and want to try to bash and you want to try to talk negatively about black men, like I said before, y'all need to start checking a lot of these black women out here that's having relationship after relationship after relationship after relationship after relationship while they have kids, and they're not sitting up there vetting any of these men, and things like this take place. It ain't the black man's fault, because I no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that because I know it ain't my fault, because I don't even know who this woman is. For the most part, I don't even know who a lot of y'all is. And to sit up there and like really hear y'all talk as if you specifically know and have dated and been with every single black, it's crazy. It's crazy. It is crazy. But like I said, a lot of y'all will never have the energy that y'all got for black men. You will not dish out that same energy to women who look just like you. Because like, oh well, we've been through so much, and we deserve a lot, and a lot of things haven't been going right for us, and we're under attack, and this, that, and the third, and yada 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 yada. Like it's a little bit confusing on, in a sense, quote unquote, stating that you are the strongest of all women out here, but then at the same time stating that you are weak and a victim. Like I said, this is how I can't really, stuff ain't computing. It's not mathing. I've never heard Superman, I've never heard Superman basically state in anywhere that, yo, I'm the strongest in the Justice League, but yo, I'm still weak. I'm still weak. I'm still weak. I'm still a victim. I'm still this. I'm still like, what? Like how are we doing that? How are we doing that? How are you trying to basically convey to the whole world that you are, in a sense, a superwoman, but yet you are still so super, you are still so omnipotent, you are such a god that you are still a victim, you are still the same as mere mortals, you still need people to back you up and to help you. I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little bit confused. Like I said, I'm just trying to figure out, are you Lois Lane or are you Superman? Which one is it? Because you can't be both. And I keep telling this to a lot of women. You can't sit up here and be both. You can't sit up here and say like, "Oh well, yeah, I'm the strongest of the community, right? I do everything in the community. I also do this, and the third, but then at the same time, basically state that yeah, I'm weak. I need protection. I never heard Superman basically say like, yeah, I'm the strongest, but I need protection. Even if he has to face up against somebody who has his weakness, which is kryptonite, just a green radiated rock from his planet. I don't hear him saying like, yeah, I need backup. I need some help. They got my Metallo got my weakness, guys. I need some backup. I need some assistance. I'm weak right now. I'm weak right now. Nah, he's sitting up there finding a way to basically fight through that. Like I said, that's the difference. That is a god among men, right? That's basically how the story in a sense is. And Lois Lane is, in a sense, the lesser of the two, the weaker of the two, right? And I'm pretty sure somebody's going to have a problem that I use the word lesser. It is what it is. She does not measure up to Superman's strength, power, his endurance, his invulnerabilities, all of this other type of stuff that he is imbued with because he left Krypton from a red sun and came to Earth that has a yellow sun, and it super powered him because of his Kryptonian DNA, right? So things react, differently. Um, and she's always, in a sense, the damsel in distress. Even if there is an episode where Lois tried to do something super, right, she still admitted, she was like, you know what, I'm going to leave the super feats to you, because she knows exactly what it is. She knows her limitations. She knows everybody's place. Superman is Superman. He's going to be able to do super things. She's a human woman. She's an earth woman. She's only going to be able to do so much, right? And 9 times out of 10, when she tries to overdo stuff, she ends up getting herself in trouble, which then leads to what? Superman coming in and having to rescue her from her putting herself in those instances. But never at a time did she ever blame Superman and say that it is his fault, right? And no, I'm just using this example here. But for the example when dealing with, the black women that want to talk negatively about black men, it's always the circumstance where it is, no matter what circumstance they put themselves in, no matter what man that they're with, it'll turn around. If everything goes negative, bam, it's the black man's fault. It's the fault because the father was never in the household. It's the fault because the fiance that should have been there basically left her. It's the fault of the father of the kids that should have been there, but that's not there. No matter what happened in a relationship, he should always be there. He should always be present. It's the fault of black men in the black community not looking out for black women when she was in a clear cut relationship with a whole other man that doesn't look anything like them, and she never even wanted black men to begin with. But because something happened to her, it's black men's fault. Okay. All right, like I said, you'll have people that can take ownership of the fact that they are responsible for the occurrences that take place in their lives because of the actions that they led. And you have others that will deflect, shift blame, and move the goalposts and try to state that, yo, this is your fault. You had nothing to do with the situation, but this right here. This is your fault. And again, where are the adults to specifically care about the kids? Because none of these kids who are born out of any of these relationships, they didn't ask to be here. They didn't ask to have any of these parents. I find it highly interesting that these things are always allowed to take place and happen to the children. The children are supposed to be the future. We're the ones that can sit up there and teach them, that can change their perception in their mind. We can give them the knowledge and give them a better head start than we ever had. But too many times I look at stories, and this is the main common occurrence that tends to happen, that a child, because of adult relationships, end up losing their lives. And that's tragic. And this is when I consistently tell people, in a sense, I really don't even care about the adults. I really don't. It's the adults are just here. You know, it's always about the children, because at the end of the day, every time I look at these stories, it's always adults that cause the things to take place directly, um, that inevitably, end a child's life. So, um, yeah, yeah. My condolences to that family and to the father of that child.